That, me and him have been friends for 16 years.
I know you had a song like 15 years ago,
Yeah,
too,
we've
right?
been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like, no cross the line.
besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked.
We would keep in touch. He would come see me when I had my plays. When I had my baby shower, he would come. Like, we were really friends.
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust
Because you
her.
bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life.
Toni. I think everybody was shocked when we found out that these two actually got married. I know, like, there's a lot of things we will do in order to pay our bills, but I never thought the relationship between Toni and Birdman was genuine. I just knew that he was just willing to go broke behind her. It just never fit. And so apparently in August of last year in 2024, they had a secret wedding. Finally got married in secret, even though everything else was public. And then she went and tried to annul the marriage 2 weeks later because she realized she had sucked.
Looks like the #1 stunner just got played, Birdman. Yes, that Birdman is finally speaking out and the streets are buzzing. Word is, Hungry Mud's got folks shook because Birdman is exposing what really went down between him and Toni Braxton, and it ain't pretty. He claims Toni ran through his pockets, vanished when the cash slowed down, and now she's creeping back around, allegedly broke again. Now, let's be real. Toni Braxton being low on funds ain't new. Let's not forget 2 bankruptcies and a taste for luxury. That lifestyle ain't cheap. Her financial ups and downs got a paper trail, and now Birdman's version of the story is flipping the whole timeline upside down. While folks close to Toni are saying Birdman's just salty and trying to rewrite history, others are starting to ask, did Toni actually finesse him? This situation sounding more like a scandal than a love story. Allegations flying, money trails exposed, and a messy split that's got people talking. And get this, multiple sources claim Toni tried to bounce with a $160 million divorce settlement after being married to Birdman for less than 30 days. Yup, you heard that right, less than a month. But wait, it gets even messier. Allegedly, Toni packed up and left 2 days after the wedding. 2 days! Didn't even pretend to stick around and play house. That's not just a breakup, that's a full-on financial ambush. People are calling this one of the wildest relationship breakdowns in R&B history. And honestly, it's hard to disagree. Then bam, less than a month later, Toni pulled the plug for good, filed for divorce, said the marriage was irretrievably broken with zero chance of fixing it. But here's where it got real messy. If the numbers being tossed around are even close to true, we're not talking about a little breakup drama. We're talking next level boldness. Considering Toni's past bankruptcies, her love for high-end everything, and a long trail of money problems, people are starting to wonder, was this relationship ever about love at all? Or was it all just a setup? Folks are now seriously asking, did Miss Unbreak My Heart marry the #1 stunner for the bag? And how in the world did Birdman not see it coming? Like, the nerve. Toni reportedly wanted $160 million after just 2 days of marriage. That had fans in total shock. That's exactly why a bunch of people are riding with Birdman now, saying she played him and calling her a goat digger. Because how you walk away that fast and still expect a massive payout? Now technically, Birdman and Toni officially split back in 2019. But guess what? That wasn't the end of it. Things actually got even messier. Birdman says Toni started popping back up in 2023, dropping little hints, being all flirty, making it clear she was ready to double back like nothing had ever happened. At first, Birdman wasn't trying to hear it. He'd already moved on, living life. But according to him, Toni didn't give up. She kept reaching out, pulling up, and pushing to reconnect. And over time, those old sparks started flying again. One thing led to another, and boom, they got back together. They gave it another shot, dated for about a year, and finally tied the knot on August 8th, 2024. But here's where the twist comes in, because what happened after that is straight up wild. Just 2 days after the wedding, Toni hit that divorce button fast. According to court docs she filed in September, she listed their separation date as August 10th, 2024, literally 48 hours after saying, I do. Fans are still trying to figure out what in the world went down in those 2 days, but whatever it was, it's looking real shady. And let me tell you, folks are losing it over her $160 million demand. Like, seriously? Even 50 Cent jumped in and roasted the whole thing on Instagram. He posted, now watch, women are gonna say, well, if you suck deep for 16 years, you wouldn't want to be paid for it. Not 16 years though, Fifth. This was 2 days. The internet exploded. Word going around is that Birdman now fully believes Toni was never in it for love, just for the money. And honestly, after everything that's been revealed, it's kind of hard to blame him for feeling that way. His net worth is estimated around $160 million. And guess how much Toni allegedly wanted in that divorce? Every single dollar. She didn't even stick around for a week. Like, not even a 7-day stretch before singing that breakup tune. Meanwhile, Birdman's been heated behind the scenes, telling folks he wants Toni to put some respect on his name. And he ain't about to say it twice. He's been venting heavy, calling her a gold digger and claiming he got straight up played. And here's where it gets even dirtier. Sources are saying Toni didn't just go after him in court. She allegedly tried to get slick and sell off some of his jewelry when she couldn't touch his cash directly. Yep, she was that bold. If this is true, she wasn't just going for the bag. She was trying to empty the whole vault. As wild as this whole mess is, let's be real, it shouldn't really shock anybody. Toni Braxton's history with money? It's been rocky for years. She was one of the biggest names in the 90s, selling millions of records, raking in cash, but somehow she lost it all. Not once, but twice. Back in 1998, she filed for bankruptcy for the first time, and that shook the whole industry. Fans were stunned. How could someone that famous with platinum hits and packed arenas just go broke like that? But it didn't stop there. By 1999, the chaos was still rolling and the headlines got brutal. At one point, Toni even went on Oprah to try and set the record straight, but that move backfired badly. Oprah pressed her about her spending, calling out the wild purchases and financial choices that led to the mess. And instead of taking accountability, Toni flipped out on live TV. She accused Oprah of being mean and tried to play the victim.
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
Toni said, "People look down on me," but folks weren't buying it. They were side-eyeing her hard after that appearance. Now she did bounce back for a little while. After that first bankruptcy, she seemed to get her glow back, booking shows and rebuilding the brand. But the peace didn't last. By 2010, she was filing for bankruptcy again, and this time, it was even worse. Reports said she owed between $10 million and $50 million. That's not just money problems, that's a full-on financial disaster. She blamed the downfall on the sudden cancellation of her Las Vegas residency, which ended after she was diagnosed with a serious heart condition. But even that wasn't the whole story. On top of all that, Toni was drowning in major insurance issues, drama over coverage, and stacks of unpaid taxes piling up behind the scenes. It's been a quiet struggle, but the numbers don't lie. She's been trying to stay above water, and it ain't looking good. Her music sales? Basically on life support. Her last album barely pushed 7,000 copies and peaked way down at number 163 on the Billboard 200. The one before that only managed around 16,000. For someone who used to own the charts, those numbers are screaming red flags. With the records flopping, her main income shifted over to reality TV. Braxton Family Values was holding it down for a minute, but that show's buzz, it's faded big time in recent years. No chart-topping music, no viral media coverage, and the money pressure started creeping back in fast. Now fans are seriously starting to wonder, was the whole Birdman situation really about love? Or was it survival mode? Rumors had already been floating that Toni was this close to filing for bankruptcy again. And then out of nowhere, she popped back up with Birdman after more than 4 years apart. The timing? Yeah, it had people giving her the side eye real quick. It started to look like she wasn't trying to get back with Birdman the man, but Birdman with the millions. All that iced out drip, them designer suits. People think that's what really drew her in. Let's not play. When they suddenly reconnected in 2023, everybody was confused. Toni had spent years telling the world it was over, done, finished. She even went as far as saying there was no chance of them getting back together. Like zero. So when she did a full 180, started getting cozy again, fans knew something was off. The vibe felt too calculated, not like a romantic reunion, but more like a strategy move.
2016 November, when I was on tour October, I was really sick. I don't mean kind of sick. I mean like really,
From
really
lupus?
sick.
Or
I had a
from-
really
okay.
bad flare, and I was on tour. And every day I was on tour, he was there with me. If he left out, he would come back.
And this is before anybody knew you
we
guys.
weren't
were
anything. It was
like-
buddies. It was
Right.
nothing. Not even a day. He was my friend. He was there. I don't
No,
know
he
if you ever...
already loved you. He's there every day taking care of you.
But you know, he really was there every day. My buddy, my friend T. You all right? You good? I'm cheering good. You know, he was just there as my friend. Like cheering, I'm cheering good. Big Mama good. He was there every day for the shows. And on my off days, he would go and take care of his business, but he would follow me on the bus and just make sure I was okay. And I don't know if you've ever been really, really sick in your life and you feel kind of hopeless and you got somebody who's a friend that's there. That's kind of,
It
it
means
just
a
made
lot.
me see him different.
And now, it's all starting to add up. Now that Birdman's speaking up and spilling all the dirty secrets, people are really starting to believe this whole thing was never about love. It was a setup from the jump, a money move disguised as romance. And honestly, the signs were there way before things hit the fan. Fans had already been side-eyeing the weird tension between Toni and Birdman, especially after that super awkward interview she did on the Tamron Hall show back in 2022. If you caught it, you know the vibe was off. She was there to talk about her lupus diagnosis. It was supposed to be a heartfelt moment. But the second Tamron brought up Birdman, the whole energy shifted. Toni froze up, barely made eye contact, and got real tense. You could feel something was off, like there was a whole storm brewing behind the scenes.
You said, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And then you came back.
Yeah. I think it's when I was first diagnosed with having lupus, I was so down, I was so depressed, and the doctors told me I would never be able to work again, your music career's over, but the man upstairs had a whole other plan for me.
Yeah.
But at the time...
Then came that weird moment where Tamron asked about their breakup and comeback, and Toni hit her with, I'm just not feeling it anymore. But fast forward, and suddenly she was back with him? Yeah. Things weren't adding up. Truth is, this Birdman and Toni saga's been a roller coaster since 2016. On again, off again, and confusing every step of the way. Even when they were together, the relationship just didn't make sense to a lot of people. Remember back in 2018 when Birdman proposed with that massive $5 million yellow diamond ring? It was flashy, loud, and had everybody talking. It looked like a fairy tale moment, but behind the scenes, nothing matched the fantasy. No wedding updates, no progress, just silence and strange energy. The whole engagement started feeling more like a PR stunt than a real love story.
Okay, you're engaged.
I'm engaged. He did good, right?
You did well, right? Very well. Take a good.
But there's no date. The wedding kept getting postponed over and over. Toni kept blaming bad timing, but fans weren't buying it. And then came the biggest red flag of all. Toni allegedly lost the $5 million ring. Yup, she said she accidentally left it on a flight. Just like that, a $5 million diamond gone. People were shook, and not in a good way. So the story went like this. The bag the ring was in got returned, but the actual diamond, gone. Vanished into thin air. Like, how do you just misplace a $5 million ring? That's not a pair of sunglasses. We're talking about a whole fortune on your finger.
Piece of the jury, that $5 million engagement ring's from Birdman, honey, just gone, honey. So Toni Braxton is trying to get her engagement ring back. Now, one of the questions I want to know,
I know.
But now the streets are saying Toni didn't lose that ring at all. Word is, she pawned it, allegedly sold it off to cover some serious debt. And honestly, given her history with money, folks ain't exactly shocked. Her financial track record has been messy for years, and insiders say she was desperate for cash. So she did what anybody strapped for funds might do. Flip the one thing she had worth serious money, that iced-out $5 million engagement ring. At first, Birdman didn't think much of it. He really believed the ring was gone by accident. He even kept it cool during an interview, brushed it off like it wasn't a big deal. But if the rumors are true, that chill attitude didn't last long, because when Birdman found out the truth, that she didn't lose the ring but allegedly sold it behind his back, that's when everything started falling apart. From there, things spiraled. Toni supposedly tried to smooth it over, but the trust was already broken. And for Birdman, that was the final straw. The engagement was done, and the relationship came crashing down not long after. Now here we are, years later. And guess what? Fans say Toni's playing the same money games all over again. Only this time, Birdman's not falling for it. He's done being quiet. He's done being played. And he's making sure everybody knows exactly what went down. From the outside looking in, it's starting to look like Birdman finally caught on to the game. He's peeped the pattern, and this time, he ain't about to let the same thing happen twice. Connect the dots. The mysteriously lost $5 million ring, the repeat bankruptcies, and that wild $160 million divorce demand after just 2 days of marriage? Yeah, it's not giving genuine love. It's looking more like a setup, start to finish. And now, the mask is slipping, and the receipts are stacking up. Now let's talk about what's really got fans raising eyebrows. Because even with all the drama, Toni's still out here acting unbothered. Posting glam shots, smiling at red carpet events, acting like nothing ever went down. But behind those designer shades, the rumors are flying louder than ever. People are saying she's already shopping around for her next come-up. And this time, she might be eyeing someone even richer than Birdman. Insiders claim she's been spotted getting cozy with a high-profile exec from the tech world. Quiet dinners, private events, no cameras allowed. And while nothing's official yet, the timing couldn't look more suspicious. Like, how do you go from a broken engagement and a money scandal to suddenly popping up next to a billionaire? Folks are saying she's not chasing love. She's chasing financial security. Again. And here's the kicker. Birdman's staying real silent lately. No interviews, no posts, no clapbacks, which honestly says everything. Word is he's working behind the scenes to make sure none of this blows back on him again. Sources say he's tightening up the circle, cutting off access, and keeping his assets locked all the way down. People close to the situation are saying he's even considering legal action, not just about the ring, but the entire marriage setup. If true, this could turn into a whole courtroom mess with receipts flying and reputations on the line. Meanwhile, Toni's fans are split. Some say she's just a woman doing what she has to do to survive in a cold industry that turns its back the second your sales drop. Others, they're calling her out, saying she's mastered the art of the money move and used Birdman as a personal ATM. One thing's for sure, this drama's far from over. And if everything leaking out is true, the real story might be even messier than we thought. Birdman might have been blinded by love in the beginning, but now he's wide awake and he's done playing the fool. He's calling it like he sees it, and whether he says it out loud or not, the message is clear. If these new rumors are even halfway true, Toni might have just fumbled the biggest bag of her life. Some say she was chasing that cash from the jump, moving slick, playing the long game, but now that the truth is bubbling to the surface, fans can't help but wonder, how deep does this really go? Was this just a messy breakup, or was Birdman caught in a setup that's been brewing for years? And here's the real question. Is Birdman just being bitter, or is he finally stepping into the spotlight to expose a side of Toni that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time? That sweet, soft image she's kept for so long might have just been a cover. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. This drama is far from finished. The receipts are coming, the whispers are turning into headlines, and the next move could flip this whole story upside down. If you've been locked in with us through this wild roller coaster, make sure you don't miss what's coming next. Like, share, and hit that subscribe button so you stay updated every time this tea gets hotter. And don't go just yet. Click the next video you see on your screen for even more wild celebrity drama that'll have you side-eyeing your screen. Because when it comes to love, money, and secrets in Hollywood, nothing's ever what it seems. And we've got plenty more where this came